Hello everyone, it's Attack here, and for today, Happy New Year to all my fans who are watching this video right now. Well, we're in another year right now, and let's just make 2023 another great year for all of us. And I hope you at least support my channel along the way, and, like my videos and all, but anyways, for this video's topic, we're going to be discussing things that'll be happening in 2023. Now, so far, there's a lot of things happening for this year, whether it's from video games, shows, movies, anime, any sort of type, but that's why, and for this one, I'm going to be recapping things that'll be happening throughout this year and what things to be excited for. So I hope you at least enjoy it right now, and so with that, let's not waste time, but let's get straight into reviewing and recapping 2023. So first off is a Nintendo-related product, which, keep in mind, heads up, there's going to be a lot of Nintendo content that I'll be mentioning in this video, but this is a Nintendo channel after all, so I guess it makes sense. But anyways, we're going to be having the first game coming to Nintendo Switch this month, to be exact, on the 20th, which is the next installment to the Fire Emblem franchise, Fire Emblem Engage. Now, I know some are a little bit iffy about the story, and especially with the main characters being Alear, because of the color of the hair or something like that, or just the design itself in general. But I'm not gonna lie, I kind of got used to Alear's design anyway. But anyways, so Fire Emblem Engage is a game that'll be featuring a major plot point which features many different characters throughout the Fire Emblem series, whether it's characters such as Mart, Ike, Robin, Silica, Corrin, Violet, Sigurd, many other characters, Leaf. There's just a lot of Fire Emblem characters that'll be coming, and especially getting a DLC pass which will be releasing on the same day, which features the three house leaders, Claude, Edelgard, and Dimitri, along with Tiki as well, which Tiki isn't from Engage, but you get what I mean. My point is that this is a game to pretty much celebrate all the years Fire Emblem has went through. I can recall when the first Fire Emblem game came out. I think it was the 90s, like 1991. So yeah, if you are a huge fan of the Fire Emblem series and really want to see how they celebrate this, then this will pretty much be a first game to get, because this will be coming out on the 20th in about a few weeks. So yeah, just a reminder for you all. Next up are a few games that'll be coming out on February. First off is a Nintendo-related product, being a remastered, or I think remake, of Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, which with the original first releasing in 2010 or 11 on the Nintendo Wii, or I think that was another year. I can't recall, but I assume it was either 2010. So anyways, this pretty much is like, the same thing as the original Wii version, and some minor differences. I hear that there was going to be online, but it wasn't specific whether it's going to be multiplayer online. Another thing to mention is that you may notice that King Dedede also has its own design change, which is actually a design taken from the latest Kirby game from last year, being Kirby and the Forgotten Land, where King Dedede pretty much looks like a character from Club Penguin. Plus, Magolor is now here, so if you're a huge fan of Magolor, then yeah, maybe this game is for you. The only thing I have a bit iffy though is that this game costs $60, which it really isn't a surprise for Nintendo, but given from the game being an actual remake or remaster or whatever the game is, then I feel like this could have been at least a $40, maybe $50, most likely $40, but yeah, all I can say is that Kirby is definitely having a great year so far. We've gotten 2 Kirby games last year, and now we're getting another one on February. Next up is a sequel to one of the developers that work on games such as Triangle Strategy and Bravely Default. Now we got the sequel to Octopath Traveler, and first of all, I do not play the first one, sadly. I might get it at some point in the future, but I'm really happy to the fans who really love this game, and especially it getting the sequel, so that's all I can truly say about it. If you are a huge fan of the art style provided from the same team who made Bravely Default and then also Triangle Strategy, then this game may be for you. And finally, the last game that will be coming out on February is Tales of Symphonia Remastered, which is obviously a remaster to Tales of Symphonia, or the Tales of series. All I can say is that if you want to expand your genre way more, then this pretty much could be it. It's really nice to see how Bandai Namco is treating their franchises pretty well. Last year, we've gotten Klonoa, I think it was a remastered, and then there was also Pac-Man World Repack, and now we're getting another remastered version of Tales of Symphonia. And if you're one of those players that only knows Lloyd Irving because of Smash Bros. Discussion, then yeah, I think this game could be a nice worthy of a try. Up next, while we don't know an exact release date, but this year we'll be getting the fourth installment to the Pikmin franchise. Yep, that's right. Pikmin 4 is now happening. It was announced last September in the Nintendo Direct, and I think it's time to see Pikmin now coming back from its roots. The last Pikmin game that came out that wasn't a deluxe or port was basically back in 2013 with Pikmin 3, and according to Shigeru Miyamoto back in 2015, it was stated that Pikmin 4 was nearly done, but given the last year's announcement, I highly doubt that was the case. But now Pikmin 4 is finally happening. We do not know what the release date is. It only said 2023, so they weren't really specific about it. But yeah, we're possibly going to get new characters, and we've seen the screenshot here showing the area that they're going to be in. All I can say is that I'm happy for the Pikmin fans that are now getting the fourth installment after waiting almost 7 to 8 years for this game to finally happen. Up next are two other Persona games that will be coming out, I think, in about a few months. One of them being Persona 4 Golden and also Persona 3 Portable. Now, Persona 5 Royal came out last October, but we still have yet to get the other two games, 3 and 4, onto the Nintendo Switch. And from what I've seen so far, I don't think it's physical copies yet. I heard it's only digital, so I feel like if you really want to get the game digitally, then you can do that. But if you're a person like me who likes to collect, hard copies, then yeah, maybe just waiting until they announce a physical version is going to be a good move. But like I mentioned with the Tales of series, if you want to expand your RPG genre, then the Persona series will be for you. Next up is a game that I think will be coming out in February, is also Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection, which featured 10 different Mega Man games all at once. I must say, I do not know much about this. I don't have any knowledge of the game, sadly, but really, if you are a huge fan, if you really love Mega Man so much, and if you want to play some of the Battle Network games, then yeah, this game is also for you. Now I know I cannot leave this behind. We know that on May 2023, we'll be getting the release to the sequel of Breath of the Wild, The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. Ever since its announcement back in 2019, and only a couple of years of waiting of many more information and getting a lot of Zelda games from time to time, we have now finally getting an actual release date for the next game of the Breath of the Wild timeline with Tears of the Kingdom. All I can say is that I'm definitely getting this. It is like 10 days after my birthday, coincidentally, which is like, mine was May 2nd. This game comes out May 12th, so that's pretty much good timing in my opinion. But all I can say is that this is going to be a game that many of us have waited patiently for a while now. Next up, we're going to talk about a bit of DLC here. First off is the remaining three Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass waves. We've gotten the first 3 waves last year, and now we have to wait for the last 3 coming out this year. So the real question is what the tracks are going to be. I don't really know. I've already predicted mine last year once they announced the DLC packs, so all I can really say is that the Booster Course Pass is getting way more exciting as time goes on. Up next is something that all of us is also excited for, is the Season Pass DLC for Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. We're going to be getting 3 types of DLC, but the first DLC is basically called the Tower of Doom, which is only a Season Pass exclusive, so you can't really get the other 2 packs separately and can get this. You can only get it when you get the pass itself. Plus, it does involve Spawny, who played a major role in the first game, so that's something to say the least. It will be coming out on early 2023. The second DLC will be coming out in mid-2022, which I assume is either summer or early fall, which features a new story that also features a new character. And last but not least, the third DLC, which I think we know we are all excited for, is the return of our Limbless character, Rayman. The last Rayman game that was released was on Rayman Legends at around 2013, so I think it's time we finally get to see Ubisoft now reimagining our beloved Limbless character back to life with the 2 other rabbits. Who knew that Rayman will finally work together with some rabbits, even though they didn't have a good start? All I can say is that the one I'm really excited for the most has got to be the return of our man Rayman. Another thing to get excited for is a DLC content roadmap for Sonic Frontiers. Sonic Frontiers was one of my favorite Sonic games from last year, and one of my favorites in part of the Sonic Redemption year, in my opinion. And with Sonic Frontiers now getting three types of DLC packs throughout this year, plus they are free, so you don't really have to pay them. The first update will consist of things such as the new challenges and photo mode. The second one, I assume, will be coming out at around June, because it does involve Sonic's birthday, but the one that I'm excited for the most is the third update, which will be featuring new story and playable characters from Tails, Knuckles, and Amy, and possibly Sage, because she's in this image. But yeah, I'm really excited for this DLC as well. And I'm pretty much more excited for this one than I guess these two, because I mean, it's pretty much showed how much Sonic's getting way more love from this year after the years of a decade of, a lot of roughness in Sonic's gaming career. Now, last but not least, I think this is another DLC thing, and that's the fact that the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 DLC will be featuring the third wave and the fourth wave from this year. We got the first two waves from the release of Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and then the second wave coming out in October. But now with Xenoblade Chronicles 3 having its third wave, which will be coming out at around April 2023, but then the fourth wave will be featuring a new story that is sort of like Torna the Golden Country from 2 and Future Connected from the first game. I'm very curious to see what this story is about. This could possibly be another story that involved, I guess you can say, the founders of Ouroboros, or maybe the other character, or maybe like a post-game that featured, Noah's journey and all. All I'm saying is that I really hope they don't do another method of just making Torna I really hope they don't make the new story another separate copy like they did with Torna the Golden Country, because I feel like some are just kind of did not expect that. But yeah, I think that those are all the DLC that will be coming out for this year. So now we can move on to some other stuff. Now, here's something I'm also excited for, which will be happening on April 7, 2023, the upcoming Super Mario Bros. Movie. So, all I can say is that many of us thought that the Mario movie was gonna be, terrible, because this was being made by none other than Nintendo and Illumination. And in my opinion, some Illumination movies from the past few years hasn't really been great, but with the Mario Bros. Movie and Shigeru Miyamoto's involvement, I can totally see this being one of the best video game movies out there. And, judging from the couple of trailers we've gotten, yeah, I'm even more excited about it. Yeah, sure, the cast members were kind of odd to some fans, such as Chris Pratt playing as Mario, but some play characters really perfectly, such as Jack Black as Bowser, Charlie Day as Luigi. I have something to get, I might have gotten used to Peach's new voice by Anya Taylor-Joy, and while I don't like Toad, I can at least appreciate that it's being played by Keegan-Michael Key. All I can truly mention is that the Mario Bros. Movie is definitely one of the best years we've gotten for Mario, and I can't wait to see what they have in store for us for the upcoming movie. Now, this is an event that will be happening on the 7th of this month, which being another Splatfest. Now, which of these three you can choose? Is it Shiver for spicy, Fry for sweet, or Sour for big man? Now, while I do love these types of seasonings, I kind of prefer sweet, because I really like sweets in my opinion. I love eating candy and cakes and all. And second, Fry definitely needs a win at this point, because she's been getting nothing but L's in the past few Splatfests. I feel like she deserves at least a win. I'm glad Big Man won last Splatfest, and Shiver won the first three, but I think it's time for Fry to have, to shine her way into winning this Splatfest for once. So, Team Sweet for me. Now, next up is something that I feel like it hasn't been mentioned in quite a while, and that's the upcoming Knuckles show coming out on Paramount+. Now, if you don't know what this is, last February, before the Sonic Movie 2 came out, Paramount+ and Sega has announced that the Knuckles show will be happening on next year, not along with the development of the third Sonic movie coming out in December 2024. And we have not heard about it since. They mentioned there was going to be a Knuckles show, but that's really about it. We know it's coming out on Paramount+, and we know it's this year. So, when are we getting more information about it? That I don't know. All I can truly mention is that, Idris Elba is now reprising his role as Knuckles in the show, so that's something to be happy about. But yeah, maybe when the time is right, I think it's best to wait until they announce any more information about the upcoming Knuckles show in the future. Now, here's something a little bit different in my opinion, and that's pretty much the fact of me talking about different kinds of movies that will be coming out this year. But I'm more specifically talking about the fifth phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The first one that will be coming out is the Ant-Man and Wasp Quantumania, which will be next month on February, and then the third volume of the Guardians of the Galaxy, which will be coming out a few days on May 5th, which was a few days after my birthday, pretty much. And then there's also another thing, and then there's also other movies such as Captain America New World Order, which will be coming out on May 2024. All I'm trying to say is that I really hope this phase doesn't screw up, because the last phase, aside from a few movies like No Way Home, was kind of boring in my opinion. So I hope phase 5 can make it a little bit more better than the last phase. Now, here's a movie that will be coming out in June of 2023, and I know this is something that fans are excited for. The first part of Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, the sequel to the first Spider-Man movie back in 2018, made by Sony. At first, I wasn't too sure what was the hype about that movie was, but when I watched it, yeah, I can totally see why. The story is amazing, the animation is beautiful, heck, even some music is memorable as well, and characters are well written. Well, some at least. So I'm very excited to see what this new movie has to be involved. Plus, it has one of my favorite Spider-Man iterations being Spider-Man 2099 and all. And I did hear, spoiler, it will also involve PlayStation 4 Spider-Man and Spider-Man from the PlayStation 1, I think, and also Spider-Man from Spider-Man Unlimited, that one Spider-Man show. Now, here's something Pokemon related things, and that is the fact that on January 13th this year and this month, we will be getting the 11 episode special showing off Ash's incredible journey coming to an end. After over 2 decades, Ash and his Pikachu their whole journey is finally now ending, which is kind of a shame, to be honest. Yeah, I know, some can really get tired about Ash being the protagonist for a long time now. I kind of was as well, but to be fair, Ash definitely made a name for Pokemon itself, and now we'll be getting an 11 episode that will pretty much be the ending of the journey between Ash and Pikachu. But my question is, if Ash and Pikachu are going to be done with their journey, what's going to happen to Team Rocket? I really don't want James and Jesse and Meowth to go away. Come on, I mean, that would be kind of odd to say the least, but really, I really don't want Ash to leave, but all things must come to an end. But what I find so funny is that Ash's journey pretty much ended before Luffy can find the One Piece. Well, now with Ash pretty much not being the protagonist anymore, who is it going to be this time? Well, luckily for us, on the same day, we'll be getting a brand new anime show on April that'll be based off from the Paldean region, and here we get to see 2 of our new protagonists. I can't remember the names, but I remember the girl being named Riki and the other ones and the boy named Rio. All I can truly... okay, I think I should stop repeating myself. What I'm trying to say is that Ash's journey, I really don't want it to come to an end, but all things must come to an end, and I think it's best to say, Godspeed, Ash and Pikachu. You definitely made many childhoods for all of us Pokemon fans. And finally, to end things up are a lot of PlayStation installments coming out this year. First up is Street Fighter 6. This game, I mean, yeah, we finally got a 6th Street Fighter game, and we'll be getting a lot more characters, we'll be getting returning characters and all. Plus, it also shows a brand new story mode, which pretty much features a playable, customizable character where you can go through a lobby and, kind of fight other characters. That is something that has never been seen before, and it's exciting to see. This will be coming out, I think, June of 2023. For the PlayStation 5. And I'm not done yet with the whole Spider-Man thing, because not only that, this year we'll also be getting the sequel to the first Spider-Man game back in the PlayStation 4 in 2018, simply just called Spider-Man 2. Oh, and I guess a sequel to Spider-Man Miles Morales, which was the PlayStation 5 launch game. So yeah, it'll be featuring Venom in this game, which I'm very excited for. I really can't wait to see other characters. I think we saw Kraven the Hunter in this one. All I'm really excited for is to see this game, and especially Venom, all fighting together. Now, it has been over 35 years since the release of the first ever Final Fantasy game for the NES. And now, with the 16th Final Fantasy game coming out this June, it is something to be excited for. And really, I don't have anything to say about it. I just hope we get to see more information. And from what I can hear, this game is actually going to be the very first mature Final Fantasy game in, like, the entire franchise. In the past, we've mostly gotten games that are either rated T or something like that. So, 16 Final Fantasy game, that is one I'm really excited for. But the Final Fantasy hype doesn't stop there, because on spring 2023, it was announced just not too long ago that we'll be getting the console version for the Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster, which features Final Fantasy 1 through 6. I currently have 7 through 10 on my Switch, so now playing the first 6 games is such a dream that I can't really wait to play. This will be coming out, like I said, on spring 2023 on the Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 4. So sadly, no Xbox or PlayStation 5 for the fans who wanted it. So yeah, Pixel Remasters, and from what I saw, this game is actually $70, so yeah, that's definitely gonna be expensive. And there was also a limited time physical copy. Yeah, expect them to be sold out very quickly. But yeah, overall, if you really want to celebrate Final Fantasy way more, then the Pixel Remaster is something you can get on your console on the go. And finally, the last thing I will mention for this year, which is the release of Resident Evil 4, the remake to be exact. So, in the past few years, we've been getting a lot of good remakes for the Resident Evil series, and this is an example on how you do a remake properly. A remake is more of something that pretty much remains the same, but adds way more content to add and diverse the whole story up, while still keeping the story the same as the original. Remasters, as I mentioned in the past, has basically games that didn't really change much aside from graphics. So yeah, Resident Evil 4 remake, I can't wait to see how this, adventure with Leon S. Kennedy has now changed. I love playing the fourth Resident Evil game in my Switch, so I hope to see what this game has to offer. This will be coming out at around March in a couple of months, so be excited for that. And so on that, these are all the things that'll be happening in 2023. What games, shows, movies, or anything, etc. are you all excited for? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below about this. And so with that, leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell for more videos, follow my Twitter, and I'll see you guys next time. And remember this, once a legend, always a legend. Like a Hellcat.